You're on, Sean.
All right. Good evening, class. My name is Sean. Name of this conference is the Additive Manufacturing Printing Educators Conference 2017. My presentation will be on the cultural impacts of additive manufacturing in science, technology, engineering, and mathematics fields in primary K-12 education in Northern Virginia. The importance of additive manufacturing, 3D printing, and K-12 education. In the future, additive manufacturing is going to take up a large part of the manufacturing trade
Just point it
space
straight. When it
going
hits
forward.
10 minutes, just click.
Trends have shown that additive manufacturing, due to the fact that its reduction in waste material as compared to traditional subtractive manufacturing methods, is only going to increase. With that being said, it allows manufacturers, designers, new and innovative ways to take advantage of this new technology. While additive manufacturing is relatively, not to say old, but because of its widespread adoption in recent years, companies are looking at it as a viable alternative. Therefore, they're looking for people who have the skill set required to take advantage of the technology. In K-12 education, educators can reflect the lessons learned delivered in the classroom on a wide range of topics. For example, if a child is learning the basics of counting, the basics of separating out groups, so on and so forth, shapes, how they relate to each other, additive manufacturing can produce little pieces on the fly. For the people in the room who have children and they want to go ahead and build a castle, you can go ahead and print out the parts to a castle and let your child put them together. As they master that skill set, you can print out more parts. They can go ahead, and it's basically a puzzle, and they learn pattern recognition, so on and so forth. So it's really helpful for children at the younger age. As we progress to older children, they learn mathematical concepts such as algebra, trigonometry, so on and so forth, that help them, see real-world applications in play as they go forward. So for math, science, 3D printing, and design will provide students with new ways to understand the world around them. In the engineering field, if you're looking at building a bridge, you can use additive manufacturing, the computer-aided design, computer-aided manufacturing, commonly known as CAD/CAM, as we all know, to provide, that's offered to provide a learning environment for students to give them the key building blocks to go forward. By introducing it at an early age, it promotes innovation and creative thinking to solve, problems with unique and novel ways to traditional problems. Currently, there are programs that are being developed or in development that are installing additive manufacturing, 3D printing concepts within K-12 age programs. For example, Cortona Academy, which is located in Dulles, Virginia, offers a complete suite of classes tailored towards additive manufacturing, 3D printing. That goes from computer-aided design, computer-aided manufacturing, software programs, and giving them the tools to learn these programs that are commonly used in the professional sector, as well as 3D printing classes that lets them hone their skills in the actual manufacture of 3D printed components. Additionally, Thomas Jefferson High School offers mentorships in laboratories and research centers to students with expressed interest. What they do is they work with students who are showing interest in these programs and partners them with research laboratories, my laboratory in particular, to go ahead and immerse these students in the technology so they can get hands-on experience, real-world application experience in additive manufacturing, 3D printing. There are growth areas as the adoption of additive manufacturing in primary K-12 education occur in the Northern Virginia. For one, focus will need to be paid attention to introducing standardized curriculum to schools throughout the region. Within each county, you have to create school administrators need to create plans that include these concepts. Providing physical resources to classrooms. Previously, the cost of entry into the 3D additive manufacturing space was cost of the actual printers. As recent history has shown, the economy of scale has slid far down enough to provide cheap, while viable 3D printers that school administrators can validate and the cost to include it. So that growth area, as the cost comes down, more classrooms can have 3D printers in their classrooms. Offering scholarships to students. Since it's a relatively new trade space that we're getting into in terms of creating a pipeline for students, identifying and creating scholarships from large companies to provide students with incentive to go ahead and enter this trade space is critical. Create competitions. There are a lot of robotics competitions currently in place, as we all know. However, by creating competitions that focus solely on additive manufacturing and 3D printing, it will inspire students who are interested in the space to create innovative concepts to identify and basically reduce the amount of issues that we currently face. For example, the 3D printing of planes to be used as a glider concept to find fuel efficiencies at, say the 10th through 12th grade as they get ready to enter into engineering programs at colleges. They can use that as, winning competitions such as that gives them something on their resume while they enter these schools. And as I said, continuing the lowering of cost of entry to the 3D additive manufacturing space is very critical, because as lower income students, lower income neighborhoods have access to this technology, it just opens up the pool of interested students. Recognize cultural impact amongst educators and students within the Northern Virginia area. Speaking with a 10th grade teacher, she mentioned that additive manufacturing has made her job as an educator exciting, and it opened doors to exposing her students to new learning opportunities and environments. As she was teaching her students, trigonometry and algebra, she sat there, and for students who had issues conceptualizing the problems presented in her math class, she went ahead and she was lucky enough to have software that CAD software, computer-aided design software, that utilized algebraic equations in their development. So by seeing the real-world results of their math being executed, students that had developmental issues that would normally be assigned remedial classes actually picked up the concepts as well as traditional students. Looking at a 5th grade teacher earlier in the developmental cycle, the basic concepts of math, addition, subtraction, so on and so forth, and pre-algebra of sorts, it gave them something that they could place in their hands that basically showed them real-world results of their math, and what they're doing actually has a result, which kind of makes it cool for kids. Kids want to see something they can feel. They want to have something they can feel, and overall, anything that enhances the learning experience for children that we can provide to our kids is actually something that we need to invest in. And so, as she said, it expanded their skill sets. And speaking to one of the 10th grade students, being able to see something that she designed was cool. And that just only reinforced the cultural impact that if we go ahead and continue the pace that we're at in introducing 3D printing and additive manufacturing in K-12 education, it will only improve the pipeline going into secondary, post-secondary education within the United States, which, as we all know, that we are slowly regressing in global rankings in the STEM field. So by introducing this at an early age, we'll be able to catch up to the global standard. And these are my resources. Are there any questions for the